Hello everybody. Welcome to my Save Our Sundays page. As you see, I got a video I posted. I called in today direct to talk to Nova Scotians about closing the stores on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve at 4 p.m. I feel the workers really do deserve this. The anxiety they have, and those gag masks that they got on to top it off, and they're on the front lines of this pandemic and stuff. And I guess sadly we're losing the Sheldon McLeod show and the Todd Vino show on the afternoon show and the weekend show. And I said more censorship, and he said it was a corporate decision, but I don't trust what they say, corporate decisions, because we've been censored. We've been censored on Facebook. We've been censored on Twitter. Oh, and then Rick goes on to say, and I'm a guy against flu shots, and he made a dig about the pandemic. Well, my call wasn't about that. It was about Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. As you see, you can listen to the conversation. Rick had brought it up. But since he had brought it up, he cut me off. He cut me off at the end of the conversation, and this is what I'm talking about, censorship. Like I'm a horrible person. There are doctors worldwide speaking out about this being a scam. A pandemic. Anyway, that's not my goal. My goal anyway when I made the call. And but it just further proves my point of censorship, because Rick Howe was censoring me today. He didn't let me talk. He let other callers talk longer, and just because he doesn't agree with me doesn't mean I shouldn't have the opportunity to speak. I mean, he brought it up about flu shots. There was never a flu shot in my body, and I'm just fine. I had cold after cold after cold, I can tell you, and I have less colds now. I take emergency, I take zinc, I get out in the sun, I exercise. You don't see anyone on the Rick Howe show or your top doctor promoting that. And we're all out of opinions. And this is what's wrong with Canada. Being classified as conspiracy theorist. I mean, seriously, all the things you see happening. You can't have a day of rest anymore. That's gone. You can't hug anyone anymore. You've got to stay your distance from them. You don't hear them promoting any vitamin. You don't hear them promoting getting out in the sun. It's mostly wear a mask. A gag mask is exactly what it is. I've been censored today on the Rick Howe show, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. He's not giving me time. He doesn't want me talking about this pandemic. Well, there are doctors talking about it, Rick Howe. I'm going to send you this video. There are doctors talking about it, and your station doesn't mention it. That's censorship. You wouldn't let me mention it. You cut me right off. That's not a democracy. It's not a democracy that I can't speak about my Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve petition. Retail workers deserve that break. They deserve it. They're on the front lines with gag masks, because that's just what they are. If you can't breathe in your own air, you're not breathing clean air. And I'm sorry, you have every right to breathe it. Is this COVID serious? Sure it is. It's serious like the flu. It's serious like anything else. And we got to learn to respect one another's opinion. People are divided on it. I get that. Maybe you should get it and understand it. But that doesn't take away what I'm doing for retail. You're serious about the pandemic? I'm going to ask you this. Are you equally serious to see the workers that are on the front lines have that break that they so much need? anxiety and depression is just as serious as a sick day. There's not one of our leaders pushing for that break on Christmas Eve. Not one union, not one church leader, nothing. All we're asking is shut them down at 4 p.m. That's not too much. It should have been a given before the pandemic. It should be happening right now. But what Rick did to me today is wrong. I think it's wrong in News 95.7 to take down the Sheldon McLeod show and the Todd Vino show, even though Sheldon wasn't too thrilled with me. I wish him the best of luck. Sheldon, I do. I wish you the best of luck. You do a great job. I'm sorry, buddy, you don't agree with what I'm saying, but I'm doing just fine. And yes, I got older people in my family, and I am careful around them. I take my mom out, and I always have a mask on her, so I am following the protocols. I do have a face shield on. I cannot breathe through them stupid gag masks, because that's exactly how I feel. They're gag masks. Something to keep us quiet. And when I can't express an opinion on News 95.7 and I'm cut off like that, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right that I suggested you guys to contact Randy Hillier. He's a MP, I believe, in the Ontario legislature. He would be happy to talk because he believes it's a pandemic, I should say. There's Rocco Galati. He's taken the federal government to court over this. Why isn't it on? Why is it being censored? Why can't the public hear what they got to say? And if Rick Howe is so right, our top doctor is so right, our premier is so right, take them head on. Why censor them? What's to hide? This is what always bothered me about censorship, because I've been censored. I see it with my own two eyes. I've been censored. I've been censored with Sunday shopping. The courts never struck down no ban. The corporations that did open on Sunday subdivided their stores, which was legal, into small businesses. And then Rodney McDonald decided to open them wide open, but it wasn't, the Retail Uniform Business Act was not struck down. But I was censored. I was not allowed to go on CTV, CBC, or Global. I spoke a few times on News 95.7, and nobody said anything about it. A lot of people claim about Mr. Trump across the border. Well, again, I'm in the middle. I support minimum wage. I support sick days. I support all these things. But when it comes down to your freedom to breathe fresh air and covering your face, I don't agree with it. There's a lot of natural things out there that I think can help people, and they're not pursuing that. They won't even discuss it. It's all put your mask on. It's all about control, and I see the control. But you need to be in the middle. You need the best of both worlds to make a good government and to make it good for people. And Christmas Eve, one of the most important times of the year, our government is all at home. They're all at home. They're all off over the whole break. I was hoping, Rick, if you're watching this, to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to go on your show, but if you don't, I know what it's about. It's about censorship. Because Wally World is advertising on News 95.7 now. That would be a horrible thing to have a guest on speaking about that. It's not horrible, retail workers, to have an opinion. If you're scared to give an opinion in a democratic country, take this with you. It's sad. You're giving all these big guys the power they want. and they're getting it every day. They're getting it. As I'm talking to you, the PEI government's got a thing of how to wear a mask. That's hilarious because people wear them below their nose. They're not wearing them right anyway. And that's not all of them. Some of them are. And then they're going home with chest pains because they can't breathe well. They're getting rashes and God knows what else by just wearing this mask. But this is what retail workers are going through. They're going through all this mass, all this anxiety. People that are fed up are going to flip out. I do. I can bet another lockdown's headed our way. It's inevitable. And lockdowns don't do nothing. You're going to see a lot of things close up. This is a guy I'd like to see things closed on Sundays and certain holidays, but I don't want to see them closed all the time. I want to see people working, believe it or not. I do. But I don't like censorship. And censorship just drives me to keep pushing, to keep doing what I'm doing. And I was censored today by Rick Howe. I was censored by him. He didn't let me speak. And he's the one that brought it up about the flu shots. That's coming from a guy, mind you, that never had a flu shot in his life. And I hope it don't come back to bite him. You know? And if people want to survive this, start taking your vitamins, get out and enjoy the sun, enjoy life. We should be able to hug and be human beings again and have a day of rest and have time with their families. That's me. You know, you can think I'm a horrible person for that. Well, you know what? I can stand here all alone, and I'll be happy about that. I'm not going to follow the crowd over the cliff. I'm not going to listen to the fake news media with this crap, because it's crap. If they were so concerned, and this is a pandemic, retail workers would have sick days, number one. Number two, they would have hero pay. They would be getting good pay because they're on the front lines, remember. They're essential. Essential. All of a sudden they're essential, but they're not worth being essential. Do you know how many people are going to go to work and just say they're just fine, but they could be sick? They could have a sore throat. How the heck is anyone going to prove that? And it's going to happen. And how many go to work with anxiety and depression? Is this the way we treat essential workers? This is why we need Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve break at 4 p.m. And Rick, I'm personally going to send you this video. I'd like to go in your show. I'd like to have the opportunity to talk about Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And if you bring mass in, I will talk about it. We're all human. If we were meant to be in this earth with something gagging our faces, we'd have them on. This is Canada. We should be allowed to have an opinion and respect one another, and I shouldn't have been cut off and censored like I was today. That's all I got to say. I got one more thing to say. Anybody watching this video, you may not agree with me on the pandemic. You may agree with me on the Christmas Eve thing. Whether it's a pandemic or a pandemic, workers need the break. They need you to say something. How quick would people complain about a mask, but someone there that could be home with their families? Life is short, as you see. There are people passing away. People pass away of the flu too, but the media doesn't talk about it. People pass away of Alzheimer's and dementia. I could go on an hour about that one. There's just so many deaths to so many things, but it's all COVID, but retail workers, they don't mention anything about having that break on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. They don't mention about maybe giving them Sundays off again. They don't mention about sick days, and they don't mention about hero pay. But I will give Gary Burrow credit. He is speaking up again about sick days, and we should have that in our province. 100%. We should have sick days. But remember, we may be a divided country, but that don't mean we can't respect one another for a different opinion. And, you know, I didn't deserve that from Rick this morning. I really didn't. I'm disappointed. Sheldon was a friend of mine on Facebook. He deleted me because of it. Seriously, people are deleting you because you don't go along with the crowd. That's not Canada. I'm sorry. The Charter of Rights gives us all the right, freedom of rights and freedom. Right, Charter of Rights and freedom. We all got that right to give an opinion, and we should respect one another for it. I respect Rick for his opinion, Sheldon, whoever's got it. But let me have mine. Don't bully me and don't censor me and cut me off. But when Rick cut me off, I was about to say to the public that there are doctors all over the world speaking up. There's, I think, 650 doctors in Belgium calling it a global scam. Why? I mean, if Rick truly believes that this is a pandemic, why don't he take on these people? Have them on his show. Prove them wrong. Have people on from maybe Mr. Dr. Strang would come on and talk to these ones that. But the censorship, the only thing the censorship does to me, it makes me believe that they're hiding something from us. Like a global scam. Think about it. We can make life better in our own province by legislating the stores to close 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I want to thank you for viewing this video. I encourage you to please share it. I'd like you to share it with everybody. And hi, Mark. This is Mark's watching. If you have any questions, Mark, I can answer them before I go off. I just don't feel again. I was being treated right today in the Rick Howe show, and to me, it's really sad. We're going to lose the Sheldon McLeod show again. We're going to lose Todd Vino's show. And these are platforms for Nova Scotians to give a point of view, unless you're on Facebook. And we all know what kind of crowd you can get. I guess I could curse and swear or do something really bad, then it will get shared a million times. I mean, seriously, you got to do this kind of stuff too. It's not the way Canada should be. Anyway, we are losing a lot day by day, and I do see a lockdown coming. It's coming. And the people on your central lines, they need your help. Where are you? You're out defending masks and social distancing, but you're saying nothing about the very people that wait on you, that need that break, with their families on Christmas Eve. How heartless is that? 4 p.m. That's not much to ask. And so many people are off at 12. I just can't believe that this isn't even an issue. Oh, because the media hasn't told you it? They haven't said it over and over and over and over? Listen, CTV wouldn't interview me. CBC wouldn't interview me. Global. They all know about Save Our Sundays. I have some of them follow me on Facebook and Twitter. They all see it. I have not been invited on. Why? Because the corporations. The corporations are controlling what they want you to hear. They don't want you to hear another opinion. Gee, you might just agree with it. That's not Canada. They don't mention Rocco Galati's lawsuit. He's suing the federal government, the CBC for $11 million. You don't hear that. Nothing. They only tell you what they want to do. I know someone made a comment to me about online that I lost all credibility just because I used the term fake news. Well, it's true. Real news will give you both sides of the information. They wouldn't just be one-sided. And like today with Rick, I had no intention of talking about masks. I had no intention talking about vaccines. And he brought it into the conversation. Once I'm done this, I will post the video underneath this link of the conversation. But he cut me right off. I was about telling their doctors all over the world. We have a doctor in Ontario that's speaking out about this. We have the frontline doctors down in the USA speaking out. Like, there's cures, and they get censored on Facebook and their videos and everything taken down. I mean, what's going on here? I know I'm being censored. I've been censored for years, so I can see it. I can see what's going on. It's sad. It's really sad. And I'm sorry to the general public if you don't think much of me. But I can't lie. I'm not going to come on here and say, I believe this is a real pandemic. I believe people's dying. But I also believe they could have kept it out. They're letting people in Nova Scotia. We shouldn't all be the ones suffering for this. They let people in. I see license plates from Ontario all over the place, but they weren't allowing people in. You know what I say? BS. They're not telling you the truth. If they would have kept people out, we wouldn't be doing all these measures. We could be living like normal people. If I'm on my own time and someone wanted to hug and come up to me, I will hug them. Seriously, I would hug them, because we lost being human. And like I said, take all your vitamins, get out in the sun. Watch Bill Maher's, M-A-H-E-R, his video in the States. And it was really good. Get out, enjoy the sun. Take your vitamins. We can't live in fear. I know a good friend who had lost their dad, and they stayed away from their dad in kind of COVID. Well, his dad died, and they wished they would have had all that time back to spend with him. I know through the lockdown I didn't spend time with my own mom, and it nearly tore my heart apart, because I thought, well, geez, she could die through this a lot quicker than the virus itself. She did a lot of crying, a lot of suffering. I see a lot. This is from the other side. Yeah, I could die of COVID today, but I tell you, I nearly got ran on the parking lot twice in 1 month. And let me tell you, I got just as much chance of getting run over more than I do getting COVID. We just can't live in fear. We're going to enjoy our loved ones while they're here. And there's a lot are gone, not just the COVID. A lot of people are gone. We need to try to make this world a better place. Anyway, I want to thank you all for listening to me today. I would like some of you to pick up the phone, call Rick Howe, and say, why did you cut me off? I can put some links into Doctor Speaking. Hey, they could be lying. They could be wrong. They could all be wrong. Okay, if they're wrong, why are they being censored? Why are they still practicing? And like Rick said, I got questions. Of course I got questions, because why are people being censored? Like me, about my petition, my Christmas Eve petition. You people, if you people out there think I don't care about you, well, I do. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because I do care. I don't want anyone sick. But I know people that went home with masks, that had masks on, had pain in their chest. Now you tell me if that's normal. That's not normal. Getting rashes and difficulty breathing. Now mind you, some people masks may not bother, but it affects people in different ways. I wear a face shield. I get claustrophobia even with that on, but I do wear it. even when I'm on my own time, even when I go in a store. But if it ever gets struck down, it will be coming off, because I don't believe in it. I think this is part of a global scam. And until some of these people can prove to me that it is, I don't believe it. And especially the censorship, I ain't gonna believe them. When you're censoring people for a reason. You're scared, you got something to hide. And they do got something to hide. That's why these doctors, Randy Hillier, Rocco Galati, I approached News 95.7 right on their Facebook. Suggestions and ignored. I'll leave that with you. But this wasn't meant to be a talk about vaccines. My other half, by the way, gets the vaccine, and I don't stop her or my mom. I just don't believe in them. Isn't this Canada? Aren't we allowed to have our own freedom of speech? Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for listening. Please sign the Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve petition. Please share it around. Please share it to social media. Please push for sick days, hero pay. If this is really a pandemic, people, prove it. Don't pick and choose. If it's serious, you don't want someone sick waiting on you. You don't want someone with anxiety. Let them have their Christmas Day and Christmas Eve home. 4 o'clock, not much to ask. And some hero pay. These are the workers that are on front line for you. Have yourself a great day, and I am going this time. This is Tony Lonis. Save our Sundays. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.